This is Scott Crowley, ID number 148226. I've got a lot of questions to get through and not a whole lot of time. Hopefully I can get through them all before I have to bail. So, here we go. How big is the bunker and how many levels or how deep it is? This bunker is extraordinarily large, separated by each subject. Research, storage, supplies, and communications. I think there's a couple, but can't think of any right now. It goes down roughly 20-ish floors. This is one of the deeper structures that Secrenom constructed, since the ground was extremely solid and held up really well to construction. Very good bedrock and not deep enough under the water table to wear down the structure. Are there any additional security measures? Every computer here is password locked, and every sensitive area needs a key card. Obviously, not all of those doors need them anymore, as the infected are tenacious. I'm pleased that they've not yet stiffed me out, but I've got a contingency plan if they do. There was rumors of sleeping gas, but I don't believe them. I have access to an executive's data, and there's nothing to suggest it. Nasty pathogens, right. Other than N4, that's the one you gotta worry about. On a more informative and serious note, I suppose we have a couple. That being said, these couple are some of the more dangerous stuff the world has known. Rabies, Ebola, dengue fever, smallpox is all that I personally dealt with. Oh, and Marburg. Sorry, sleep does not come easy. Marburg, hemorrhagic fever. So yeah, some pretty nasty stuff. Not sure if I want to braid the depths of the facility to save these samples. God forbid one of those broke. The guards were, we used a private military company, PMC, as I know some of you would prefer it called. So their equipment was varied. M4 assault rifles, various Glocks, SPAS 12 shotguns, body armor made by 3M, I believe. At least one person was wearing that. It was a pain getting the okay to use a PMC company, but it was eventually granted under the, premise of, God forbid, some spook squad managed to get a hold of some of the pathogens that I just mentioned. Dengue fever would be incredibly dangerous if it was dropped into a densely populated city. Not that there aren't any left. How was the N4 virus spread? So, this one is a little tougher to answer. Technically, it's bloodborne, airborne. It has vectors like fleas and crows, if I'm sure, or rather, if they could survive. The crows are already known for this. I'm sure you guys have run into them. Not sure if the fleas could. The cellular destruction might be too much in a creature that small. It might be something to test if we have any. I don't think fleas were some of our test animals. Is the bunker just for scientific research? If not, has there been any secret weapon testing or experiment tests? Sorry, I'm reading these off a sheet because I need a reference. As far as I know, the only drugs developed for the military were stimulants. Modafinil was one of these. I'm probably saying it wrong. As it was a replacement for Dexatrin. Where is Secrenom based? Am I aware of the building Comer Sons? Do I have any knowledge of any connections with them to Secrenom and Lerwaberry in general? So Secrenom is based in the United Kingdom, like all of it. I am aware of Comer and Sons. I do have access to some of the traffic cam feeds, working on hacking into more. Comer is definitely an intriguing building. Almost every known mutation and affliction exists there. I should probably elaborate on that one. I call this standard run-of-the-mill infected. the ones that harbor infectious bacteria, produce anticoagulants, the ones whose cell regeneration allows for them to burn for an inordinate amount of time. The ones I don't really understand myself, the ones that give off radiation, those I call afflicted. Mothers, Cerberus, or Quires as you know them, an apt name by the way. The high density muscular ones, Hulks, the ones with tendrils, self-explanatory on that one, and the Gorgon, also known to you as fingers. Those are mutated. There must be a secret somewhere in the building that allows the creatures to change with reckless abandon. Quite like this bunker, as a matter of fact, there are very few standard infected here. As I mentioned before, the parasites are much, much larger, perhaps due to consuming more biomass. Comer is a very large building, so there might have been an extremely large amount of people in there, so that could be a key to it. Oh, right, on that note, I managed to capture a parasite. They are... I shouldn't feel bad for insulting these things. They are extraordinarily stupid. Even more so than other infected individuals. Catching them is the easy part. The hard part, it's extremely strong. I managed to find some containers made for storing dangerous creatures such as these, and for the record, I did not approve of using dangerous animals for testing. I'd rather stick with lab rats, but animal testing was unfortunately approved, and one voice does not make a majority. One worm in a K9-sized container. Not sure where I'll start, but I'm taking every precaution possible. So I'm going to end this one here and finish this communication line. The infected definitely seem to have stayed away since I've not been out for a few days. Anyways, the communication line has one or two more connections to make, and I'll have restored power to communications as well by feeding it through the standard line. And I'll be able to communicate on this voice application you survivors use. I'll keep you updated on that. Stay safe. Good luck.